Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Um, Wherever you are, you're not actually there. You are outside of space time. But in any case, using human constructs like latitude, longitude, etc., wherever you are, a good day to you. So today I want to explore um, a theme that I'm obsessed with, which is what is reality. And I'm going to explore it, take it a little step further than we've done in the past in my videos, but also in my books. So you may be familiar with two books that addressed the whole issue of what is reality. One was Metahuman, and the other was You Are the Universe. You Are the Universe was with cosmologist and quantum physicist Menas Kafatos. And then Metahuman I did with myself only as just the sole author. I'm now doing a new book called Unveiling the Matrix, How Conscious Agents Create the Human Universe. And that's with cognitive scientist Don Hoffman, where the whole exploration will go one step further. But let's recapitulate a little bit of my work in the past with a short summary, and then we'll take it one step further today. And also, I want to renew my offer to all the scientists in the world that if you can show clearly how matter produces mind, how brain produces experience, not correlates, but how actually the brain, which is a material object, produces experience, then I offer $1 million as a prize to any scientist or group of scientists that can show very clearly how the brain produces experience or mind or consciousness or just experience. How does the brain produce experience? And we're not talking about the biological correlates or the neural correlates of experience. How does a material object like the brain produce this experience right now that you're having, looking at me, hearing me, thinking, feeling, imagining, conceptualizing, aspiring, finding meaning, all that. How does the brain do that? How does a material object do that? And if anyone can prove that conclusively, okay, how does the brain produce sensations or perceptions or ideas or feelings or thoughts or imagination or constructs or arguments or aspirations or desires or the aspiration for transcendence, finding meaning, purpose. How does the brain do that? And if you can prove conclusively, then you've solved the so-called hard problem, which in my view, of course, is a non-problem. But if you can do that, I offer $1 million prize to any scientist. I have offered this in the past, but I'm renewing the offer today. So let's go with my argument for now, both that I offered in You Are the Universe and then a little more elaborately in Metahuman. And the argument is as follows. Just replace the word object, the word object, the word hand, the word, eyeglasses, the word nose, the word hair. Replace that with one word, experience. Okay. So just get rid of the idea that there are things, that there are animals, that there are people, that there are stars, that there is the sun, there's the moon, that there's the sky. Get rid of that idea and replace all of that with one word: experience. We experience something called the sun. We experience something called by humans the sun. We experience something called by humans the moon. We experience something called by humans a ring, etc., etc. So replace the word objects, situations, circumstances, people, everything that you can name. Give it one name: experience, because before you can give it a name, it's an experience. So, my argument is that we do not experience rocks, people, animals, stars, sun, moon, or sky. We experience human sense perceptions, which are modifications of awareness or consciousness, and then we construct the notions of mind, body, and universe also in consciousness. So, I've explored how this construction works in two books, actually many books, Book of Secrets also, but most recently, You Are the Universe and Meta Human, where I dive into the nature of reality and consciousness. So my books challenge conventional perceptions of the universe and human experience. I propose that our experiences and the universe itself are deeply intertwined with consciousness. My exploration begins with a fundamental assertion: we do not experience the world directly. Instead, we experience human sense perceptions, which are modifications of our awareness or consciousness. And this perspective aligns with the idea that our understanding of the world is mediated through our sensory and cognitive processes. In You Are the Universe, along with Menos Kafatos, I have argued that the universe is not an external entity separate from us, but an integral part of our consciousness. I propose that our perceptions, beliefs, and experiences shape the very fabric of reality, suggesting a participatory universe where the observer and the observed are inseparable. Of course, I recognize that this view challenges the traditional materialistic paradigm of science, which often isolates consciousness as a mere byproduct of physical processes. I further propose that physical processes and matter itself is a construct. So my work all these years has emphasized the profound interconnectedness of what we call mind and matter. In You Are the Universe, I explored how consciousness is not just a passive observer, but an active participant in the creation of reality. And that book delved into existential questions such as who are we? What is the universe? And critiqued conventional science for its inability to fully explain the spectrum of human experience. In that book, You Are the Universe, Menas and I argued that the universe and consciousness are deeply interwoven, with our individual and collective perception playing a crucial role in shaping reality. In MetaHuman, I took these ideas further by exploring how we can transcend the limitations of human constructs and tap into our infinite potential. I introduced the concept of meta-reality, a state of awareness beyond the everyday constructs of society and the mind. I propose that becoming meta-human involves recognizing and moving beyond these constructs to embrace a higher level of consciousness and creativity. I argued that many aspects of our reality, such as money, nation states, and even time, are human constructs that should not define our experience. By becoming aware of these constructs and their limitations, we as human body minds can unlock our true potential and creativity, leading to a more meaningful and fulfilling life. But this process involves mindful awareness of experience and also self awareness practices, awareness of awareness that connect us with our true self beyond material conditioning. And in both these books, I argued that by understanding and harnessing the power of consciousness, we can become active participants in the creation of our reality. That this perspective also aligns with emerging scientific views that recognize the influence of the observer in quantum mechanics and the interconnectedness of mind and matter. And I also actually offered these ideas as aligning with quantum mechanics. So my idea of the universe being a byproduct of consciousness aligns with and differs from quantum mechanics in several ways. It aligns, but it also differs. So the alignment is that, number one, interconnectedness. My view emphasizes the interconnected nature of consciousness and reality, which aligns with quantum entanglement in quantum mechanics. Both perspectives challenge the notion of local realism and isolated physical objects. Then there's wave-particle duality. I describe thoughts as confluences of possibilities emerging into physical reality, which parallels the wave-particle duality in quantum mechanics. And both these views suggest a fundamental uncertainty and probabilistic nature of reality. I also argue that consciousness shapes reality and that this resonates with the observer effect in quantum mechanics, where measurement influences the outcome of experiments. I argue that both quantum mechanics and my perspective challenge the classical view of localized objects and events, suggesting a more interconnected and non-local reality. Of course, there are differences with the scientific mainstream opinion, which suggests that quantum mechanics is a well-established scientific theory with mathematical formulations and experimental evidence, but my ideas are more philosophical and lack rigorous scientific proof. And therefore, I've now, in the next book, Unveiling the Matrix, actually teamed up with a cognitive scientist who works with mathematician Chetan Prakash and also with quantum physicists to actually suggest that space-time itself is a construct based on human perceptual experiences. And I have had to, of course, address the skepticism in mainstream scientists' views that argue with my scientific paradigm, which of course is not mine, but was that of the pioneers, including Schrödinger and Max Planck and Werner Heisenberg, etc. I think that the materialistic worldview that dominates mainstream science right now is basically a fallacy. And I argue that understanding the physical side of a phenomenon does not explain the phenomenon itself. I believe that consciousness cannot be understood through materialistic science alone, and I call for a more holistic approach that includes subjective experiences. I have always promoted an interdisciplinary research process where the gap between science and spirituality can be bridged. The Chopra Foundation co-sponsors university-level research into the effects of meditation on biological processes like telomerase levels, which are linked to aging. And I collaborate with the respected institutions and scientists to provide empirical support for these ideas. And as a result of this, I've been able to address at least some of the criticisms from scientists and skeptics who accuse me of pseudoscience by arguing that my views are often misunderstood or misrepresented, that many of the concepts I discuss, such as the role of consciousness in shaping reality, are also explored by serious scientists and philosophers. I've mentioned Heisenberg, Schrodinger, Max Planck, and others. And then I've offered $1 million challenge, which I hope aims to shift the scientific community's focus on consciousness by highlighting the limitations of the current scientific approaches. And I advocate for a more holistic exploration of consciousness. So, of course, no one has yet responded to this $1 million prize challenge, but I'm now re-engaging public engagement and awareness and challenging both the public and the scientific community to raise awareness about the complexities of consciousness research. By offering this very substantial monetary reward, $1 million, I want to draw attention to the issue and stimulate public interest and debate. And I hope that this challenge will be accepted and we can engage in a new dialogue, which maybe will help shift the scientific community's focus on what is called fundamental reality. Okay, so much for that. Now, what about conscious agents? What is a conscious agent? A conscious agent is is a mediator between consciousness and the appearance of the human universe. Now, if you were not a scientist, a cognitive scientist, you might use the word soul. So, in the matrix of souls, with their belief systems, perceptual interpretations, cognitive processes, experiences, decision making, and motor activity, we are projecting the human universe. And that's all we can know, the human universe. Okay, animals and rocks and plants and microbes and bacteria and stars and galaxies, the sun, moon, and sky, space, time, and causality are all aspects of the human universe. Also, human beings as biological organisms are aspects of the ecosystem of projected reality from the matrix. This is what we'll be exploring in the next book, Unveiling the Matrix, How Conscious Agents Project the Human Universe. And while I will be arguing from the spiritual side, I think you will find great support from theorists like Don Hoffman, who works with cognitive scientists, is himself a cognitive scientist, and has questioned, how evolution hides the truth from us, how and then augmented reality, immersive experiences, we're actually expanding the dreamscape that we have already created. Let me know if you find this interesting or useful. And thanks for indulging me as usual.